Hello, everybody. Coach Bolowski here, and just a quick video about the rules and regulations of class. Those of you that are traditional students, you've already seen this. You don't have to watch this unless you just want to watch it to make fun of me. Those of you that are blended, you need to be able to see this so that when you come to class, so that you'll know what is expected of you in the classroom. So most of this is common sense stuff. It is not real hard. It is stuff that if you've had simple upbringing that you already know. So just going to run through them real quick here. All right, number one, you need to show respect. You need to show respect to me, of course, to your peers in your room. Don't be laughing and making fun of each other. I'm real big about the golden rule. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And you need to show respect towards yourself. And how you show respect to yourself is you come to class prepared, you study for class, you have everything that you need for class. That's a way that you show respect towards yourself. If you've got something to say, raise your hand. It is rude to interrupt somebody while they're talking. So when I'm talking or when other classmates are talking, raise your hand if you got something to say. And that goes along with do not speak while others are speaking. And pretty simple. Goes along with the last rule that I just had here. So chewing gum and eating candy. Do not do that in my class. There's going to be times that there's going to be science equipment set out and about, like, microscopes. And I've had students before get gum and candy in microscopes, and they had to be repaired, and the parents had to pay for them. So, and of course, naturally, there's people that know what to do with gum when they get through with it. They throw it away. And then there's other people that stick it under the desk or under the chair or put it in somebody's hair or something like that. So when you come to class, please don't chew gum or eat candy. Do not touch computers in the classroom that do not belong to you. My area of the classroom is back in the corner. It's very obvious where my area is. My computers, don't mess with them unless you have permission to, and don't mess with anybody else's computer except for your own. Leave video games, Blu-rays, CD, movies, all that stuff. Leave that at home. They can come up easily missing, and usually it's the guys bringing video games to school, and somebody sees them and they steal them, and it's hard to track them down. So please, if you will, don't bring anything of any value to school. And and as I told the classes, that includes money. I never bring money to school. And a student certainly doesn't need to bring a lot of money to school. So please, please, please leave anything of value at home. This is not a gym class. Please do not shoot baskets. You are not Michael Jordan, and my class is not a gymnasium. So if you got to throw something away, I don't mind you getting up and throwing it away. Just walk over to the garbage can and throw it away. Because what happens is people shoot, they miss, and they don't go and pick it up. And now myself or the custodians, now you've made even more of a mess that has to be cleaned up in the afternoon. So please just get up and throw your trash away. Do not bring noisy watches to class. iWatches have become a problem. People don't know how to work them when they first get them. They're going off in class and they're sitting there texting on them. And, I don't mind iWatches right now, as long as you use them appropriately in class. So, and know how to work them before you bring them to class. Don't enter class without paper or pencil, paper, and your Chromebook. Now, we're going to try to go as paperless as we can, but it's always school. It's always a good idea to bring paper and pencil around for if you need to write yourself a note and stick it in your pocket, or you need to write yourself a note, about you got to bring some paperwork or something, not to forget something. It's always a good idea to have paper and pencil around. So, but don't come to class without those things. You need to have your computer every day. You are going to fall behind if you don't bring your computer, and bring your charger as well. If you start to feel sick, it says behind there, goodbye. And what that means by that, what I mean is, in this COVID world that we live now with, if you're not feeling well, let me know and let us find out what's going on with you. You don't want to come into the class and possibly infect people. If you're feeling sick to your stomach, don't come up to me telling me I think I might throw up. Go to the restroom. If you're a girl, I'll get a girl to go check on you. If you're a guy, I'll come check on you. But we don't want to see it. We don't want to smell it. We don't want to hear it. So please, if you're not feeling well, go to the restroom and somebody will come check on you. Do your homework. There is no excuse. There is no excuse not to do homework. Coach, I had a ball game last night. I'm sorry. I got ball games too that I coach, and I'm coming to class prepared every day. You need to come to class prepared every day. You need to, when you commit to doing a sport, when you commit to doing band, chorus, when you do whatever, you accept that you still have to get your work done on top of whatever activities you may do after school. So I can remember as a child, I would, on Wednesday nights, we went to church, and I would come home right after school and immediately do homework. And if I didn't finish the homework, then we did it after church. So there are no excuses. Now, of course, if there's a family emergency or something like that, we'll work with you. But don't come into me and say, well, I didn't do my homework because I had to go to Huntsville and buy school clothes, which, yes, that has been said to me before. So please, please, please do your homework. There's not going to be just a large load of homework placed on you in science. So when I do tell you it's homework, get it done. Homework includes studying at night, and you would be amazed how much better your grades would be if you would go home at night and study. And I'm not talking about an hour. I'm not even talking about 30 minutes. If you would just go home and look over the stuff that you went over during the day, it helps it to stick in your mind better. And when we take tests, usually we take a test every 2 to 3 weeks. And the material we covered at the beginning of those weeks, it's been a while since we've talked about it, and it's not going to be as fresh. So if you look at stuff, nightly, 5-10 minutes going over things that we've studied earlier, it helps you to remember it better. You are responsible for makeup work, and this is what hurts people the most in my class, is that they do not do makeup work. For some reason or another, they believe that when you're absent, that you don't have to make up the work and that work just disappears. It doesn't just disappear. It's in the grade book, and if you don't do it, it goes in as a 0, and zeros devastate grades. So you have got to do your makeup work. When you're absent with an excused absence, you need to find me and you need to say, hey, coach, I was out. What did I miss? And don't worry, I'll work with you. If you're sick and, if you had the flu and you had to miss a week of school, don't worry. If you come to me and you say, hey, I need my makeup, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to help you. So keep that in mind. Please be in the classroom before the tardy bell rings. That's an obvious thing right there. I do count tardies. So please, and I'm not even going to say you got to be in your seat. As long as you're in the room and you're getting ready for class and you're not causing a disruption, it's as long as you're in the room. Horseplay, that's obvious. In this coronavirus world that we live in now, you got to have social distancing anyway. You shouldn't be chasing folks down. So you want to stay away from folks the best you can. So if you're running around in my room and you break something, you're responsible to pay for it. So don't horseplay. Okay. Come in, sit down, get ready for class. Listen. That's one of the big things. You need to learn to focus, and you need to learn how to listen. And so many times I will look out at the students and they will be off in nowhere, off in la la land. So you have got to learn how to focus and pay attention. And even when you're doing work, you've got to learn how to do that. You got to focus on what you're doing. Effort. I preach effort. In football, I always talk about effort. In the classroom, you will hear me constantly talking about effort. If you put forth your best effort, I'm going to help you. If you are lazy and you don't listen, if you're not putting forth good effort, it's going to hurt you in class. You have got to work on putting forth your best effort, not just in school, but in everything that you do. Come in and relax. Let's have a good time. I'm all about, hey, we got to be there. Let's try to have a good time. Come in and get your stuff ready and chat with your neighbors around you while I'm doing the duty out in the hallway. Talk, go ahead and talk about what needs to, what you need to. But relax, come in and have a good attitude. If you're having a problem, please talk to me. I cannot read your mind. And I'm talking about anything. If you're having a problem with grades in science, if you're having a problem with somebody in class, if somebody's bullying you, if you see somebody being bullied, and whoever's being bullied is afraid to say anything, please come talk to me. And don't do it in front of the class. Don't do it when, we're in the middle of class. Catch me in the hallway or at the end of class and say, can I talk to you? And we'll walk off somewhere and you can tell me whatever it is that you need to know. If you're having problems at home, if there's a financial burden and you're having trouble getting materials for class, not only my class, if you're having trouble getting pencils and paper, please let me know, and we'll find somebody that'll help you. But if you don't tell me, I can't read your mind. I won't know. So if you don't feel comfortable talking to me, please find an adult in the building that you do feel comfortable talking to. Or if you want to come to me and say, hey, I'd like to talk to a counselor. Hey, I'm good with that too. Well, I'm there for you. So please, if you're having a problem, please talk to me. Phones. There's a phone tree in our room. It hangs on one of the closet doors. Please put your phones in there. And it is your responsibility to make sure that you get your phone in there. If I see your phone in your purse, if it goes off in class and it's on your body, you are open to discipline. However, if you put your phone up in the phone tree and it goes off, I'm not going to say a word. I'll say, hey, will you please go turn your phone off? But you've done what I've asked you to do, except for remembering to switch it to silent. So if you put your phone in the tree and it goes off, I'm just going to say, hey, switch your phone off, please, so that we can continue class. But if it's on you, if your phone's on you, I'm going to take your phone from you and you're going to have to sign the discipline log for having a phone in class. So put your phone up in the phone tree. It's a simple thing to do. You can go for a little bit of time without it. Bring computer and charger every day. You're going to be using your computer a lot. Bring that charger. If your computer's starting to go dead, especially you later in the day classes, I don't have a problem with plugging it in. But please, you got to have that computer and charger every day. The golden rule: treat others the way that you want to be treated. You don't want people talking about your hair. You don't want people talking about the way that you dress. You don't want people talking about, um, about your grades. So, the golden rule: treat others the way that you want to be treated. My grandmother told me long, long ago, if you can't say something nice about somebody, then don't say it at all. Just keep your mouth shut. So, and that's the big thing about how the seventh graders get in the most trouble is by talking about each other and things getting started that way. And the answer that I always hear is, I was just playing. I was just playing with them. Well, somebody might be having a bad day and they just don't take it as being playful. So, golden rule: treat others the way that you like to be treated. Let's have fun. Okay. Come in with a good attitude. Come in and, be cheerful, be pleasant. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about to your neighbors around you. Don't come in with that attitude. You've got to be there. So let's have fun. Don't come in and cause trouble and cause me to have to deal with you for disciplinary reasons. Come in and act right the way that I'm asking you to, and we're going to have a great year. You are responsible for you, and you need to learn to own that. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for whether or not you study. You are responsible for whether or not you have your things in class. Don't ever come in and say, my mother forgot to put my computer in my backpack. No, that's not your mother's job now. That is your job. You are responsible for you. Get your homework done, put it in a backpack or put it in the place where you put your stuff, and bring it to school the next day. Be responsible for you. Okay? Restroom and water before the tardy bell. Well, you can't even get water now in the water fountains because the water fountains are switched off. Go to the restroom before class. We're not supposed to be letting students go to the restroom very much during class. So please, please, please hit that restroom before you come in class. And remember, use the restroom and wash those hands for 20 minutes before you return, or 20 minutes, for 20 seconds before you return to class. It's real important that you follow those guidelines. Attitude determines altitude. And this is an old saying. Altitude is how things rise through the air. And attitude determines how high you'll climb. Now, I'm not actually talking about you physically going in the air. I'm talking about how great, how successful are you going to be? And that is determined a lot by your attitude. When you come in and you have a bad attitude, it's going to hurt you in class because you're not going to want to listen. You're not going to want to do the work. You need to work on your attitude. Come in with a winning attitude. And I promise you, you will have a great year this year. These are my real quick rules and regulations. These are very simple, and I'm sure the vast majority of you already know these anyway. But if you'll follow these guidelines, you're going to have a great and successful year this year in science. Okay? Have a good day.